Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Lindsay Errico joining us here from Montgomery, Alabama. She's our resilience and career coach, joining us here from Fly Fearless Unlimited. Lindsay joining us again here today. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Well, excited to have you here. And just to point out, your mission at Fly Fearless is to empower women in male dominated fields through personalized resilience and career coaching. So you're really helping women out there navigate this challenge, right? Trying to find themselves on their unique path and journey to success, build that communication, that confidence, and executive leadership. And I ask, well, why? Tell us because a little bit of your background and, of course, about your service.
Absolutely. So, my background, I've been in the civilian world administration operations for a couple of decades now. And I also enlisted in the military in the Army National Guard as a Chinook flight engineer. So, very male dominated, started off in maintenance and then went to flight company, only female maintenance, only female flight companies. So, had to battle a lot of challenges there. And through that experience and some stateside deployments for hurricane relief and overseas deployment to Afghanistan. I resonated with the words fly fearless that were engraved on the back of a medallion from my sister. And I felt it resonate with me, not only for the job and my role, but in my life. And I definitely want to empower other women to lead fearlessly and fly fearless as well.
Oh, I love this. And how do we contact you?
Yeah, so the website is flyfearlessunlimited.com. My email is info@flyfearlessunlimited.com. You can always call 334-245-1415.
Perfect. And if you want to call today, anyone has any questions for us, we continue 631-307-4010, 631-307-4010. So for today, tell us what you had in mind. And also I want to hear about this potential book in the process.
Yes, so I have been approached a few times actually to write a book, and I just brushed it off like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could even handle that. And a publisher approached me and said, no, I really want you to publish a book. This book, I think it would be great. And so part of that process is interviewing 100 women. So I started the journey to interview my goal of 100 women. And through that process, I have found some similar themes as far as women struggling with their own value and their own self-worth and that imposter syndrome that we always struggle with, which of course are not only areas that we need to deal with in our personal lives, but they definitely play a role in our working lives as well.
Well, let me ask you, in all your experience with helping so many people, obviously to put out a book would be amazing to share your own personal experience and people out there who want to contact you. But let me ask, currently what you're doing, you were doing the coaching one-on-one with people here via Zoom online, and you're able to help them one-on-one and maybe like a little guidebook to go along with it as well. I'm sure you have some, a system, which I don't know what it is, but when you have someone come in new to the practice, do they fill out like a questionnaire or something to get to know them? And is that something that you would incorporate in the book?
So I have an initial discovery call that you can meet with me one on one for 20-30 minutes, and we discuss your challenges, what you're looking for, see if it makes sense to work together. And then there's a couple of different options. We can do some one on one coaching, or we can do some group programs. So I have Fly Fearless coaching as far as a group program, and it's an 8-week program. And it's super, super great, kind of down and dirty, quick. There's a workbook with worksheets and lessons, homework, stuff like that to work on yourself and building your resilience and your confidence. So, through that process, that 8-week process, we work together through all that. Obviously, if you want more in depth detail, we can do one on one. And then I have a Fly Fearless mastermind that is still in the works, but will be coming out. That'll be a 6-month program, which is really exciting.
That's awesome. So you already have a lot under your belt, and now with this book, I mean, gosh, the have you started writing it yet, or is it just in the thoughts?
Right now, it's in the research phase.
That's the
So
word I'm
just
looking for, in the thoughts, the research.
yeah,
Yes, that's
yeah.
what I
So
meant.
it's definitely in the research phase as far as just gathering all the context, the interviews, and finding some commonalities. I mean, I have tons of notes that I've written from my own story that I have in my head that I need to get into onto paper, but getting the outside context from all these other women. And I've even interviewed some men as well to find out if they've had some strong female influences in their lives that have helped them on their own growth journey. So that's been really, really fun too to speak with them.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's exciting. I want to hear some of the feedback and of course the people you're talking to. What are they saying?
So they're really excited. They're excited to be part of the experience. But I have found that there are those similar themes running through as far as the value, struggling to find our own value and our own self-worth. We tend to beat ourselves down. I mean, we're our own worst enemies, right? And we're harder on ourselves than, I mean, I would even say we're harder on ourselves than God himself. I mean, he's very graceful and he forgives us, and we have a hard time forgiving ourselves, and we hold on to those things. We hold on to our past. And I mean, like it's a hot coal, and we're expecting somebody else to get burned, and we need to release it and let it go and move on so that we can continue to grow and realize that we are worthy, we are enough, and we can be everything that we want to be.
Oh, I love hearing about this because Fly Fearless Unlimited, you've been helping so many, and with your coaching, I know you've been doing a lot of, pro bono work, right? As you said,
Yes.
helping people. But, to get this up and running, I mean, how does it start? There's workshops as well that they could do too. And someone out there is listening today. Again, feel free to call in 631-307-4010. Share the experience of how, it works.
Yeah, so I do have an in-person workshop coming up. It's next week. I'm super, super excited about it because it's just going to be so great for the community, getting everybody together. I have a lot of support from my contacts in the Army and from women in my Bible studies and at my church, and it's just been so wonderful. Full support. It's going to be hosted at Hope Inspired Ministries, which is a place I mentor, a volunteer mentor and volunteer speak at, which is super, super, such an amazing cause. I love them. And more workshops to come, potentially an in person workshop in Connecticut while I'm visiting, but virtual workshops as well, so I can expand my reach. So if you can't make it to the one in Alabama, please sign up on the website and enter your information so that you can be put on the list to find out when the next in person or virtual workshop is coming out.
Very cool. Thank you so much. And flyfearlessunlimited.com. Got to point out that. And also take advantage of her shop with her clothing, hats, accessories, and all that. But I want to get down into, how you can, I hate to say the word fix, but how do you get into the mind of someone? Do you know what I'm saying? To
Yes.
trust you like this? Because I mean, speaking of being fearless, some people may be fearful to even make that initial step and have that apprehension and anxiety, right?
Oh gosh,
You're
absolutely. And
like,
I
oh yeah,
think,
all the
yeah,
time.
I think fear holds us back from so many things. And I mean that old saying, faith over fear, right?
Yep.
You gotta take the step and you gotta trust yourself and trust in the process in whatever step that you're taking. And just you have to have the belief in yourself and the trust in yourself. And that is something else that as women we struggle with because we tend to not believe in ourselves or we tend to not hold ourselves accountable in those aspects, and it's super super important to have another person that you can go to who can help you gain the strength and the resilience to believe and trust in yourself. Absolutely.
That's right. Well, hold on one second. We have a caller. Hello. Welcome to the show. You are live on the line. Who's this?
Hi, how are you? This is Alan. How are you?
Oh, hi, Ellen. You're live on the line here at Fly Fearless Unlimited. Just so you know, this is a live radio show. Lindsay Errico joining us. How can we help you?
So I have a 22-year-old daughter, and I'm not sure like the best approach to coach her.
Best approach from you to coach her, is that what you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
What is
Is
Or is
she?
there
it something you, or is it something that you could coach her on? I mean, like, Like, cause I don't know, she's like, she needs some life lessons. You know, she's very sheltered and not sure like the best way to kind of get her, I guess, I don't know how to put it.
Well, take your
So,
time. Take your time. Tell us a little bit about your daughter, if you don't mind first.
Sure, she's a 22-year-old girl, woman from Long Island, and she went to school, graduated, and I think she just feels like everything should be coming to her. Like I think most kids of that generation tend to seem to think.
Oh.
So I'm just trying to figure out the best way to like kind of
But what is she
know.
doing? What field is she in, if you don't mind us
Mm.
asking?
Sure, she's in. So she's basically in technology, doing like writing proposals and things of that nature.
All right, Lindsay, what type of advice do you have for Alan, you said?
yeah,
Okay,
Alan.
go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Technology is definitely male dominated for sure. I'm sure she's dealing with some other struggles, and I think the best thing is, I mean, obviously you got to go through a growth process on your own, and somebody telling you something, you're probably not going to listen. But
Right.
without more information as far as what specifically, maybe, I mean, if she's struggling with finding her own worth, or she just thinks that she can get something for nothing, that's definitely things that I could have a conversation with her about and work through, to get to a better mindset place where she can experience all the things that she wants to experience. There is some of that growing pains that obviously you kind of have to go through, but helping her navigate those things would absolutely be a pleasure to speak with her about.
Okay. All right. So I guess what I'll do is I'll get her information and maybe set something up.
That would be wonderful.
Thank you. And you said you based out of Long Island. Obviously, that's in New York. Lindsay's in Alabama, but she does this virtual coaching all the time, right? Any
Yes.
how do you as a father, male dominated, right? As a dad too, like is mom involved? Is she close with her, or are you like the go-to? Like any tips for him as
I
a dad,
tend to be the
Lindsay?
go-to.
Okay.
Her mom is not really in the picture, so she kind of comes to me a lot.
Are you guys really close too? Like, would you say
Yeah.
that she's a daddy's
Yeah.
girl?
Yeah, I would say so.
Oh, I love it. I was really close to my father as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Her mom like a raging alcoholic. So
Oh
Oh,
gosh. Oh,
yeah.
oh no. That causes other other issues.
Yeah.
oh my
I'm
goodness.
so
Well,
sorry.
wishing you the best of luck, and it's flyfearlessunlimited.com. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, lines are open 631-307-4010 if anyone has any questions. Lindsay Errico here. Remind us all the different ways we can reach out to you since we are halfway through.
Absolutely. So the website is flyfearlessunlimited.com. The email is info@flyfearlessunlimited.com. And the phone is 334-245-1415.
Perfect. All right, Lindsay, I forgot what we were talking about before we got the call. What else was in mind for today?
Well, we were talking about the interviews and talking about women's self-worth and value, and that imposter syndrome. Like we feel like we're pretending to be somebody that, maybe we don't think that we're capable of being. And that's definitely something that I help women changing that mindset surrounding, because we can absolutely be whatever it is that we think that we can be, and we need to take it full embrace that. We need to embrace that, and faith over fear. Absolutely. Can't let fear hold you back.
Yeah. And what have you learned? I mean, being in a male dominated business, what are women experiencing? Could you talk about the mentality, the struggles? What are women dealing with when they are in this male dominated society? Tell us, was it insecurities? Is it what's happening? What do you find out from your clients?
Yeah, so definitely insecurity. I mean, you have your own insecurities, right? Everybody does, male and female. But in these spaces for women, compound that with other people that you're working with or surrounded by saying negative things about you, as far as, especially in the male dominated space, like you don't deserve to be here, you don't belong here, you're not good enough, or you're not smart enough, or you got hired because you're a female, and all of those things, and then compound that with your own insecurities on top of you actually trying to take a stand and being assertive like a man. And instead of being assertive, we're taken as aggressive. And that can be damaging to someone as well, because now they're going to no longer be assertive, which is going to hold them back in their career. They're not going to
Yep.
advance. They're not going to get
Mm-hmm.
promoted, going to get resentful. Same thing with problem solving. You come up with, here's a problem, I have a solution. We're looked at as complainers, not solution finders. And that becomes the same thing. You get resentful, it holds us back in our career. So being able to fully embrace those things and being able to protect your own thoughts and protect your own mindset and just protect your own identity and stand true in who you are, people can say whatever they want and it's not going to bother you.
Yeah, perfect. I love hearing that. And again, if you want to call us today, 631-307-4010. If not, continue listening, because our guest here today is talking about a lot of the double standards that are in our business, and she's helping people, overcome, especially women. You don't coach any men, do you?
I have not coached any men. I have had men come to some of my speaking engagements and workshops, but I have not coached any men, because obviously men struggle with their own issues with resilience and confidence. So I
Mhm.
guess I'm putting something out there that's helpful to them, and I absolutely love that. If there is a gentleman who wants or needs coaching from me, I'm more than happy to take them on, but I have not yet.
That is so funny. I think it's great. A woman coaching men, it's possible, right? I mean,
Yeah.
but I understand we kind of relate to our own first and foremost, because we are one of them. Yeah. Which I've
Mhm.
always found odd. This is so off key, but like, okay, I have a male gynecologist. Why? I don't know. Like, I just feel like a woman can relate better because she has the same parts, but I still go to him because I do like him. But that's his career and specialty. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's a
oh,
very interesting topic, because there are some women who are like, absolutely, I only want a female. And then there's other women who are absolutely, I only want a male. So it's very interesting when you have conversations with each of them, because they're very like, I'm not having a male or I'm not having a female. And it's like, well, wouldn't you want a female? Because
yeah. I don't know. I just anyway, it was just funny because it just popped out of that. I don't know where that came from, but okay,
it's a
okay.
good point.
Well, maybe because I just made my gynecologist appointment for October 17th and it was on my mind.
Your subconscious sent it out.
It really did. It really, really did. Oh my gosh. How can you help me fly fearless? Can you help me fly, please, today?
Yeah, just fly out there. Just stand it, own it,
I-
accept it.
Thank you. I will. I will. What about someone like me, like any woman in general that has goals to attain, right? Can you give
Mm.
us some tips on goal attainment? What do you do? Are you into visualization? Are you into writing it down? Is it into like what? How do you set a goal and work at that goal? Any tips for someone out there, woman out there trying to succeed, change careers, something like that?
Oh my gosh, like all of the above. So there's different types of goals. There's goals that, like, that you can achieve them, and there's goals that stretch you. And but the end of the day, a goal is meant to grow you, and that's what you need to keep in mind. Because like, if you have that, oh well, I made $50,000 a year, I'm gonna make $50,000 a year. Well, you're gonna get there. But if you have, well, now all of a sudden I'm gonna double my income. Okay, now that's a goal that's going to stretch you. It's going to force you to grow and all of those things. But as far as attaining them, I mean, I do take advantage of visualization. Um, Actually, a funny story with the visions that are coming to me lately. I typically try to have a very clear mental picture, which is hard. I get fleeting images, but the image that keeps coming to me now, is the best way I can describe it is a superhero that levitates, and then all of a sudden you see them like break off all the old, and then they get all their superhero parts and pieces, and
Yep.
now they're right. So I see this image of myself, and I'm breaking off all the old, all the past, all the everything, and embracing all of the new stuff. And I just love the way that it comes through in my vision. I was like, oh, that's so great, because we should be doing that all the time. We should be releasing the old and embracing the new and constantly improving and growing. And I just think it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I think it is too. What I also love about women and empowerment, I feel like I'm just gonna say I'm not into politics, and I don't care. People are Republicans, Democrats, and I do love the fact that there's a female candidate again. Like it happened with Hillary Clinton, now with Kamala. It's like, whoa, is this going to happen? Like we have come a long way, right? Whether it's her or not, I don't, whatever. But like impressive. I think we've come a long way, but still, right? Still.
Yes, women have definitely come a long way, and I think we have a longer journey. And I think the journey is more within ourselves. It's more within ourselves and being comfortable with ourselves. And I think that internally will express itself externally.
Yay, yay, yay. Let's register for our next workshop. Flyfearlessunlimited.com. Got it. And when is it again? Before we go, remind us of how we can contact you.
Yep. Flyfearlessunlimited.com is the website. The email is info@flyfearlessunlimited.com. And the phone is 334-245-1415.
Perfect. And thank you again for being here, for joining us. Thank you to our caller. We have 1 minute left. Someone does want to call in, they can. How did you want us to finish up for today?
Yeah, and always find me on social media. I'm on social media as well. So Fly Fearless Unlimited or Fly Fearless Coaching are my handles. So definitely find me there.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have your fantastic day. And ladies, listen up. Feel free, feel great to be powerful, and know that we're worth more. And I hate pay disparity. It exists, and that has to stop too. That's a whole nother conversation because it's so true. You hire a female, hire a male, and it's like everywhere still. Isn't that horrible?
It is.
I don't understand it. It's not fair. It's not right. Like, I want to apply for a job like with a wig and a mustache and see if I'd get the job compared to, not kidding.
You might. You never know.
It's horrible, but it exists. Men, you don't get it. You don't get it. All right. Thank you so much for being here again, as always. And we'll talk soon. Flyfearlesswithme.com or
Flyfearlessunlimited.com.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank
Bye,
you.
Ed. Bye.
Bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.